Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video by ProGuides on this channel. My name is Dan, and today we'll be helping you navigate the early game with Ember Spirit. I'm sure all of you are aware that Ember Spirit is one of the most played heroes in Dota currently, and for good reason. He's really fun to play and has insane outplay potential. However, if you really want to dominate on this hero and abuse his strengths, you need to consistently have a clean early game, which allows you to pressure the enemy and control the tempo of the game. Before we get into the video, our question of the day for you is, who is your favorite Ember Spirit player? First of all, we're going to lay out a basic guideline for skill and item build for the hero to give you a structure to follow in your games. The standard starting items for Ember Spirit are generally Quelling Blade, Circlet, Slipper of Agility, Iron Branch, and Fairy Fire. After that, you can rush a bottle in order to get it before the 4-minute rune, and finish your Wraith Band afterwards. Build into Phase Boots, Magic Wand, and don't forget to buy extra salves or clarities when needed. For the skill build, you generally want to follow this order. Start with Flame Guard, get 1 point in Sleight of Fist, then Flame Guard again. Max Sleight of Fist afterwards, taking your ultimate at level 6. In the laning phase, your primary goal is to get as many last hits as possible, so that you can get those basic items that were mentioned. When entering the middle lane as Ember Spirit, it's extremely important to understand the enemy hero that you're facing. The first thing that you need to ask yourself is, can the enemy break my Flame Guard? Figuring this out is actually really simple. All you need to do is compare the damage of the enemy's spells with your absorb damage for each level. Every matchup is different, and that's why I recommend checking spell damage if you're not sure. If the enemy has more than one nuke, you might have to wait for them to use one or try to dodge a spell using Sleight of Fist. Which brings us to the next point, using Sleight of Fist correctly. Generally, you want to use Sleight of Fist off cooldown since it's an efficient harass tool in the laning stage. However, in some matchups, it can be used to dodge projectiles or nukes from the enemy, so please be aware of this and try practicing it. Moving forward past the laning stage, you need to make your own choice for your skill build. Generally, if you're geared more toward farming and pushing out waves, or your team has plenty of disables, you want to have your Flame Guard maxed, since it enables you to farm much faster. However, if you're more focused on ganking and setting up kills with your team, taking Searing Chains makes the process so much more reliable. For your first big item, your main options are Spirit Vessel, Desolator, and Maelstrom. Go for Spirit Vessel if you're against heroes that rely on HP regen, healing, or lifesteal, such as Alchemist, Husker, Timbersaw, Necrophis, Io, or heroes that are just generally tanky, like Centaur, Underlord, and Kunkka. Spirit Vessel is generally just a really good item right now, and helps you play actively as well as giving you decent damage to finish off kills. Desolator is also a very popular item right now, and works great with Ember Spirit since it applies the armor debuff on everyone that is hit with Sleight of Fist, as well as giving him a damage boost. This item also helps your team take objectives like towers and Roshan. Maelstrom isn't the most popular item at the moment after all the nerfs, but it's still a decent pickup if you're against illusions or summons, and provides great wave clear without needing Flame Guard. After purchasing one of those items, it depends heavily on the game, but you usually will need a defensive item like Black King Bar or Yule's Scepter. Aghanim's Scepter is also a great third item that allows you to do what your hero is meant to do, but better. Obviously, you can purchase more than one of the mentioned items in the same game. Seeing an Ember with Desolator and Spirit Vessel is not uncommon. Hopefully this gives you a good outline for how to itemize and skill Ember Spirit. Please be aware that there are always adjustments that you can make based on your own plan for the game, and there will be games where alternative builds and items might be more effective. Good Ember Spirit players are always looking to get every power rune. This is because Ember's kit takes advantage of runes more than most heroes in the game. With the double damage, his Sleight of Fist does way more damage. With an arcane rune, you can be more liberal with your remnant usage and poke the enemies much more often. So, how do you secure power runes? Well, there are a few tricks you can apply here. First and foremost, always push the wave before the power rune time, every even minute starting at 4. This is because pushing the wave forces the enemy to either miss creeps under tower and contest the rune, or let you get the rune and farm. If you think the rune might be contested, a smart trick you can apply once you're level 6 is placing a remnant on one rune spawn location while walking to the other. Once the rune spawns, you either get it underneath you or remnant back to the other side of the river and take it. Another important part of getting runes is actually being able to see them when they spawn. so be sure to buy your own ward or ask for one and place it in a convenient location. Whenever you get a rune, please do not use it immediately unless you absolutely need it. Saving a double damage until a fight breaks out can change the situation completely. Don't forget that stacking is something you should be looking to do on this hero, especially if your lane didn't go too well, so be sure to always pay attention to the clock. With the camps being so close to the mid lane, you really don't have an excuse not to. If you follow the previous steps, you should have a decent start. One thing you need to understand about Ember Spirit is that he is a hero that excels at applying early pressure. While he can stay on his side of the map and farm up decently, a lot of heroes will outfarm or outscale him. This hero does not need a Battle Fury and Daedalus to be strong. His spells offer so much damage and control on their own. When looking to apply pressure, there are a few things you need to keep in mind. First of all, which heroes should you pressure? This comes down to understanding which heroes in the game need time to farm before they come online, and which heroes you actually have the ability to pressure. If you're laning against a greedy or weak hero such as Sniper, you should look to condition kills against them by wearing them down with Sleight of Fist and eventually going in for the kill. Alternatively, you could ask for a gank, and the great thing about Ember Spirit is that he's so easy to set up kills with. You have mobility with Fire Remnant, you can set your teammates up really well with Searing Chains, and a combination of Sleight of Fist and Flame Guard provides enough damage to get you almost any kill in the early game. Now, what should you do if the hero you're laning against can't really be pressured out of lane? Let's say it's a high-level Morphling with a Morbid Mask. Your hero doesn't provide enough burst damage or sustained damage to realistically pressure Morphling. So your best course of action is probably to focus on controlling runes, keep your farm up, and look for opportunities in the side lanes. Deciding when to rotate to the side lanes can be difficult, but some really great timers to look out for are bounty runes and outpost time especially. This is because siege units will follow shortly after that. If your ganks lead you into taking an objective, then it's definitely a great play. The hero in the lane you're trying to gank is also very important. For example, slow or squishy carries with no real survivability, such as Drow Ranger, are perfect targets. When rotating the side lanes, it's important to understand what Ember Spirit provides to a gank. He provides initiation, using Sleight of Fist and Remnant, as well as some disable and decent damage. So when playing a gank, you should usually be the first one to go in, or at least set up with chains to make it easy for your team to follow up on. Now, this all depends on the other heroes involved. Sometimes you might be able to just run in and get an easy kill, while in other cases, the gank might have to be more carefully executed. The main point you need to understand is that Ember Spirit has a very early power spike simply by having his skills leveled up, so you should look for opportunities to play aggressively. That's it for our Ember Spirit guide today. We hope you learned something new. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to be notified of our next videos. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and good luck in your pubs.